They're more than that. They are in the 40,000 range. I think it was 41,000 about a year ago,
Remarkable.
so steadily getting closer. That actually will not make them the biggest restaurant chain in the world. That is Mixu, the Chinese bubble tea maker, is at 53,000, but they will definitely be closer to that goal.
Hey, Subway, I bet you is up there too, because they're everywhere. Christina, so what's going on here with McDonald's? If you'd asked me, I would have said there's a McDonald's on every corner in every city USA. Why are they going on this expansion?
Right. Well, for years they were actually shuttering more restaurants than they were opening. Between 2015 and 2021, they closed a net of 900 some stores. Some of them were inside Walmarts. But since 2022, they have been reversing that strategy and expanding, opening new locations. And they've really been trying to follow where the population is going. So, for example, North Texas is a place where people are just flooding. Texas in general has seen 2 million people move there since 2020. And so they are chasing those new diners, trying to get as close to where people are living now as they can. And McDonald's says that its goal is to be within a 5-minute drive from as many people as possible. So they're just trying to go where those people are now.
Yeah, we were just talking earlier about how Dallas has really exploded in terms of population growth, in terms of being a place where folks want to move to because of the lower cost of living. Is McDonald's an early bird or a latecomer to the population boom in northern Dallas, northern Texas? Is it, the master plan communities are building out, but are there stores or brands that are ahead of McDonald's in that effort to populate it?
It's such an interesting point because they are still earlier than many other brands, but they are not as early in these spots as they once would have otherwise been. Oftentimes, McDonald's is one of the first businesses to open, and in places like this, they aren't the earliest. We see 40-some McDonald's in the Dallas area in the past few years, but the population there has been absolutely exploding. So they're still ahead of the full wave, but they were not the very earliest pioneers in these places where many people would have expected them to be.
Christina, I know you traveled to North Texas for this story. My question is, where's Texas putting all these people? Are they just building houses in the middle of the desert somewhere?
The houses are just popping up. When I was there, I would talk to people who had moved to the area weeks or even days earlier. There are an enormous number of houses being built, and they're expanding the Dallas North Tollway, which goes north from Dallas. Salina, where I went, was about 50 minutes away, and that highway is going to reach there by 2027. So you see, as transit gets easier, as it's faster to get to these places, more and more people are moving there.
So a company like McDonald's is massive, and I imagine that a goal to get to 50,000 restaurants takes some time to play out. So the fact that it's doing all of this, is this a move now to expand in response to conditions that it spotted, I don't know, a year ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago? I'm just wondering how quickly McDonald's can decide on something and then execute on it.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely years in the making. Being convenient is a cornerstone of their strategy, and I think they've just had to reconfigure where that convenience is, where the people are. They have a very extensive team that follows demographics. Other people in the industry watch to see where McDonald's open. We spoke to an executive who had previously been at Chipotle, and she said she knew when there were 3 McDonald's in an area, they were ready for other restaurants. So they're very sophisticated with these kinds of calculations.
Any early feedback on how some of these new stores are doing?
Yeah, we looked at third-party data that showed that these stores are not quite as busy as more established stores in denser areas. McDonald's told us it typically takes 2 or 3 years for a new location to catch up on traffic with older stores, and they see positive signs. So it could be that as these cities become more populous, these McDonald's will become more frequently visited. And it was interesting, other businesses in these Texas towns said they weren't being cannibalized by McDonald's opening. There's just a lot of business for everyone where cities are growing as fast as these are.
Christina, final question to you. How is this expansion going to show up in the financials? And I wonder whether investors will give McDonald's credit for it, because as you know, typically analysts track same-store sales at stores open for at least a year to gauge demand. And now McDonald's is building out new stores, which I guess don't quite filter into the revenue number in the same way.
Well, one thing that's interesting is that McDonald's has raised the royalty fee for many new franchise owners, so there is more revenue that they are getting from these stores. Same-store sales hit their lowest point in a decade last year, but have been more positive this year, so there are signs that this is good for McDonald's corporate numbers.